Hey everyone, it's King Vader, and it looks like today I happen to be the man of the hour.
It's no shock that we're living in a very digital world right now, but as most see this as a threat or negative thing, let's bring to light the positive, why don't we? Our man of the hour today is King Vader, famed YouTuber, director, and content creator that has taken full advantage of making a career in the digital space while bringing light to social impact initiatives and positive trends for all of his viewers around the world. So much so that he's been known as one of the youngest ever African American directors to work with the streaming network with his latest Netflix project, Netflix Dreams. Let's get into it right now with King Vader. The name King Vader has come across most of our social media sites, our Instagram, our YouTube. You're getting millions of hits and views all the time, King Vader. So I'm just so excited to crown you today's man of the hour. I really want to thank you for being on the show. You're coming to us from the other side of the United States, at least, but how are you doing?
Hey man, first off, I just want to say thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here and to be the man of the hour. This is great, and I'm excited to get into it. I'm doing great though. Today was it's a busy day. We started off a couple calls, couple meetings, dropped some content for the socials, and now we're here. So yeah, great day.
I wanted to drive this conversation around the positives in the digital world we live in, given that so many people see negatives in it, for instance, like the oversaturation of content, the overstimulation of the brain when you're going through your phone all the time. There's a lot of this, put your phone down, be present, right? But in the world you're working and living in, it's not so much about that. It's about picking the camera up and creating more content and inspiring other people to do that. But before we get into the positives, I have to ask you about some of the harshest realities that may have come along the way. So as we work this conversation into the positive and into the more upbeat style, I want to start at the very bottom, right? Start at the beginning. Are there any harsh realities you've faced as a social media star, a famed YouTuber and such, and over this time?
Well, the harsh reality is definitely a lot more so in the beginning, because it's about like you trying to find your identity and also what it is you're trying to do. Um, Social media can kind of be like a two-way street. You have to figure out
Yeah.
like one, which direction you're going, or you're just gonna be kind of stuck. And
Hmm.
for me, it's like I create my content for my supporters because I love my supporters and they are the reason that I go so hard in my videos, and that I always want to one up myself and do better and get better. And in general, my entire goal is to become one of the greatest directors of my generation.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is I'm using social media to be my platform, and also that step to get me to where I'm going. And in the beginning, it's really hard with transitioning yourself. Like, okay, so you're on social media because you're doing this thing, or you have this niche about you that people love. Okay, but what is it that you want to do past social media? Okay, so now how are you going to do that? So then, I feel like the harshness of it is like people, the doubt, because it's like, say you have a goal that surpasses social media. A lot of people who aren't with you, or who haven't been with you in the beginning, they're going to doubt that goal. They're going to be like, nah, I don't think that's possible. Social media is probably just going to be your thing. But it's like it really comes to the creator, the talent, the mind, to let themselves know and to remind themselves constantly, like, this is possible, because I'm going to work hard to make it a reality. So it's like it's really about putting in that consistent hard work, and you have to have that self-belief. And I feel like that's just something with me, keeping that self-belief and keeping that consistency when it comes to hard work has allowed me to push myself to different levels that I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have been able to reach if I listened to all the people who told me I couldn't get to those positions that I've now found myself in. And I feel like the harshness just comes, with all the negative that can be thrown at you really quickly, because social media is fast. Like, you could post a video and then you can get like 1,000 positive comments. But
Mm,
as you're looking through the positive comments and you're grateful for them, you're always going to see the negative comments. And some of the negative comments are just there to kind of throw you off your game. And I feel like those are the ones that really get to us, though. So I feel
mm.
like self belief is very powerful and it can help people through those hardships because only you know what you're capable of.
Now, that's from the outside looking in, of course. And so, from the inside out, among your peers who also do this with you, and some of maybe some celebrity friends that you've made along the way who are doing something at a high caliber, like you are, for instance, of influence. So, when you're looking at like the millions of people that watch your videos, the millions of people that just follow you on one platform alone, people who have that similar experience of having fame or, again, influence, would you say that you all kind of are able to connect on this notion that it's not as it's not so cut out like it's supposed to be, or it's not as cut out as it's supposed to be?
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who I've met through social media and
Mm-hmm.
overall creating. And these are the people who I can actually come to and talk to them about things I wouldn't be able to talk to people like some of my family or some of my followers directly, but I can talk to these creators because they know how it feels to be in the hot seat. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you post a video and it's doing numbers and then it's like you can get a backlash or positive, like, so I feel
Yeah.
like talking to people who are in your similar field can help you um express some of the things that you might be going through yourself that you can't really talk to other people with. And I have a lot of good friends who understand, and I feel like
Mm.
having people who understand lets me know that I'm not just in this by myself, but like a lot of other people go through these same
Mm.
things, and like you can get through it because there's so many people who have before. So it's
Mm.
really up to you to realize that and like to get up and get back to it.
And those are almost having the people in your corner. I love using that
Yeah,
phrase because you got your tight people in your corner, the people you might have grown up with, might have entered the business with, like you'd said, might have connected with online and became friends with along the way. But you do have to check in with yourself often and
yeah.
ask yourself, who do I need to approach about this problem? Who may I need to seek insight with about this concern that I have? You know, and I think that right now, especially, everything is virtual, and you mentioned you'd been in a lot of meetings today alone, right? Everything has to be online. How have you managed to kind of still do what you want to do when it comes to content creating during this time?
I felt like, uh, definitely, putting my feet on the ground and learning about scheduling. I've had to schedule a lot of things, and at this point, I'm starting to schedule out my months. So it's like I know what I'm doing before next month even rolls in. So now, with things being filled up on my calendar, I know exactly where I have time to add in. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
now it's like, okay, well, I already got the 10th through the 15th secured, and this week we're going to be doing a bunch of interviews, phone calls,
sure.
etc., photo shoots. So then this week we're going to place this aside for content creating, and then actually I want to work on this big film I got coming up. So let me go ahead get the pre-production started this week, and then start filming towards the end of November. So I feel like scheduling has helped me better myself as a creative all around, and it's going to allow me to push and produce a lot more content, even with the situation that we're in. And I feel like
Mm,
that's the biggest thing because with me, I always want to one up myself. I always want to push up my content. But then
mm,
we have a situation that we've been placed in now, and now I have to ask myself constantly, like, how can I continue to break these limits, surpass these limits with the limit that's been placed on me and the world.
yeah.
So now I've been trying to maneuver around it, but by maneuvering, we've accomplished a lot. So I'm very proud of what I've accomplished this year, and just myself as a director and actor in general, and now we're just pushing forward to do even better.
Speak of accomplishments, my friend, you know, ever since you worked with Netflix on Netflix Streams, which is your original that streams with them on their social accounts and their YouTube channel, if I'm not mistaken,
Mhm.
you know, how did you secure that, first of all? Because just that alone, King Vader, allowed you to be pronounced, one of the streaming world's, I guess, right? One of the online world's youngest African American directors. And so, first of all, congratulations. How did that feel when you were told that? And then, even after now, looking back at some of those first steps, I mean, what was it like securing such a partnership?
Um, it was amazing, and it was honestly I found myself speechless at times thinking about it because it's like, you know, being born in Chicago, raised in Maryland, just as this kid with this dream that, he wants to grow up and direct films and act and things like that. And, I still find I'm still on this path, and I never feel comfortable and, I'm never satisfied. So I'm always,
Mm,
seeking for improvement and like to be at a level like this, knowing that like I'm just getting started. But we found ourselves in a room with Netflix, talking about, what it is that we want to do, and let's figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like let's figure something out. And now, having this mini series with them, and being able to create like this,
mm.
and also, it feels amazing.
As
That's
it should, King
as
Vader, as it should. That is a
as it
huge
should.
accomplishment.
Thank you. And even with that, pushing the limits and uh, just never holding back, and that was the best thing about that project. Honestly, a lot went into this project,
Oh,
and a
yeah.
lot happened during this project. But sitting back, going on the Netflix YouTube channel, seeing that it's hit 1 million views and it's still going up, and seeing so many supporters and fans, not only of the Umbrella Academy series, Netflix, and my supporters under those comments rooting us on, and saying like, you guys are really up to something, keep pushing, keep doing your thing.
Yeah.
uh that is it's life changing. It's really life changing because Netflix is one of the biggest streaming platforms out, and
Yeah. If
it,
not the biggest.
if not the biggest, and
Yeah.
like, to even be in contact with them, and it's just, I'm grateful, and I'm just excited for the future because, like I always say, we're just getting started.
You are. Now, as you continue this start, right? Because
Mm.
you're so young and you're doing such phenomenal work. As you continue, you mentioned that the bar keeps getting set higher and higher and higher. I'm going to go out of frame here, higher and higher and higher. How do you not, or how do you best practice not being so hard on yourself, especially being so young and seeing so much accomplishment right now? How do you practice, you know, making sure that you don't go over the edge trying to accomplish the next big project?
um it's definitely a practice, because in general, I do feel like I can be hard on myself, but that just comes with like the perfectionist in me.
Mm,
I seek to always outdo myself, and that's kind of like that's just like this motto with me. So it's like
yeah.
at this point, sometimes I just have to kind of take a step back away from the creation and the creating. And one thing I have on my Instagram, I've never deleted my old content. I've never deleted my photos when I was young and I used to stay back in Maryland. Like if someone goes to my
Yeah.
Instagram right now, scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see everything. And the reason being is because sometimes you have to take a step back and look at where you started to
Mm,
see and to push you to where you're going. And I keep that up to remind me of the times where, it wasn't always like this. And to also reassure myself, like, you got this. You're doing great. You know what I'm saying? You are
yeah.
doing great.
Yeah,
Keep
you are.
pushing, keep believing in yourself and keep striving for greatness, because that's what you're doing. And like just seeing where I started is just like it's just that reassurance. So
Mm,
that's kind of how I do it. I just, take a trip back to memory lane and see the beginning.
yep. Because that's where it all started,
That's where it
right?
started.
It's where it started. It's where it's going to be. It's where it's going to end as well. Because that's always going to be the young King Vader. That's now this King Vader. That will be that King Vader a little later. Because it's your story. I want to talk about that really quickly with you. We're younger. We're younger creatives, if you may, producing content in the ways that we're doing it right now. Yeah, we're on a Zoom call and we got to post produce this, and it'll be a YouTube show and a podcast and blah blah blah. And for you, it's like you're directing, shorts and series on Netflix and on your YouTube channel. Regardless, creative content producers, right? For people who want to get into this space, especially young people, let alone young Black men who look at you as a role model now. Talk about the heavy lifting of the shoulders here, King Vader. People are watching you and they're inspired by the work that you're doing. But young Black men that want to do what you're doing, what would you say are some of those first steps and maybe some of those tricks in just getting started so that they can also look back at their Instagram photos and say, dang, I've come a long way. And it's because I looked at what King Vader was doing and I heard what he said about, starting at the very beginning.
So um, some of the tips and tricks, I feel like one of the biggest ones is your mindset. I feel like you have to have a very strong mindset when it comes to chasing a goal that this world may deem unrealistic. So it's like, you know, you have to believe in the dream before anyone else can or will. You have to be your number one fan at first. You have to realize that failure is a part of success.
Mm,
And you're gonna fall a couple times on this
mm.
journey, but at the end of the
Many
day,
times,
you're gonna
right?
fall many times, but at the end of the day, it's like, giving up is never an option. And if you can look up, you can get up. So it's like, you have to realize that, you know what you're going after is nothing's really unrealistic. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Anything that you want in this world, you can make happen. You can make it a reality. It just takes hard work and dedication, for that to happen.
mm,
And another big thing I would mention is to let people know, like, you know, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. And that goes into a lot of things, like, uh, chasing your dream, learning a new skill, working out. You have
mm,
to realize that it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it, and that's what's going to get you past that extra mile that you thought was impossible. I
mm,
faced a lot of weeks where I was looking at this week and looking at what I had to accomplish in this short amount of time, and it looked impossible. I felt like I was facing this mountain that couldn't be climbed
mm,
until I started. And that's another one too. You have to start. A lot of people are so quick to say that that's not possible or that's unrealistic,
mm.
but they never started. They never even gave it the first attempt. And it's like once you start, you realize, like, wait, I might could do this.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's
I
hard,
got
but
quick feet. I think I can dance with it.
yeah,
I can tango with them. Yeah.
I have a shot. So it's like, the next thing I realize, I'm on top of this mountain looking at where I just was, and I realized, like, the climb wasn't as big as I thought. It wasn't
Sure.
as hard or complicated. So it's like, you have to start, you have to stay consistent, you have to work hard, but know that, there is success at the end of this journey. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And don't just worry about the destination. Enjoy the journey. Worry about the journey, because too many people are worried about the destination and how they're going to get to this fame and success. But it's like, you can get there fast. Trust, you can do anything to blow up and get millions of views and this and that. But how did you get there? That's the question people are going to ask you. And
Mm,
when you recite your answer, when you give your story, are you going to be proud of it? So
mm,
it's like, worry about the journey, and the destination, your success, the fame, and all that, and the money, all that. Don't even worry about that. It's going to come. Fall in love with the work and the journey, and you're gonna find yourself at your destination one day. And you're gonna be proud on how you got there.
And you said it wasn't so bad when you got to the top, right? Of what you're doing at least. And right now we see you at the top. I know you probably like, oh man, it's not the top really, right? I want to keep going at this. But for what we see, it is a top of something of what you're doing. And although it might not have looked as bad as you said, it may seem, I guess when you're looking at your time in the content world and the social media and the digital world now, have there been any major learning lessons for you? Maybe some things that you didn't necessarily know you were getting yourself into?
Um, I feel like I mean, it's very situational when it comes to the lessons I've had to learn. I feel like most of my lessons have came, through just personal experiences, like on film sets and things like that.
Mm,
I feel one big lesson is I had to realize like I had to stop worrying about the numbers, about the view count, about the followers, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had to
yeah.
stop worrying about that, and that's some great advice for people on their way up to whatever they're doing. Stop worrying about the numbers. Stop worrying about the views. Stop worrying about the likes. Your main concern should be. Hold
For those listening, he has a phone call coming in, I think, or a notification of some kind, right?
on.
It's probably another streaming service trying to snatch you away from Netflix, King Vader. Hey, can you
Okay.
stop working with Netflix for a sec and come join our team? We'll pay you
Well,
double.
okay. So back to what I was saying. So don't worry about the view count. Don't worry about the likes. Your main concern should be about what you're creating and your content. Okay. I felt like at one point I was really focused on the numbers,
Mm,
and that started to make me think about like, dang, like I'm too worried about this, and then when I don't hit this number, I feel sad, and I feel like what I just
sure.
did I didn't accomplish, or it wasn't like I didn't work hard enough. But
Mm,
that's not the case. At the end of the day, it's like you are the creator. You are, you create. You are the director of your life and all this, right? So it's like you need to be in love with what you're creating,
mm,
and that's what matters, the content. So it's like you throw your content out there, say it doesn't get the your grandest amount of views that you were expecting. That's absolutely fine. Did you love the video? Did you enjoy it? Are you proud of it? So that if you say yes to all that, that's perfect. You accomplished yourself. Now keep creating. Don't even worry about that video. Just keep creating. You keep creating, and then let's say two videos down the line, you make a video and then it goes viral or it blows up. Well, guess what? All these people who just popped onto your page or checked you out, they're going to go back and they're going to check out your other work. And now that video you thought didn't get the right views it deserved, now it's going up and people are commenting and acknowledging
right,
the
right.
hard work you thought no one did at first. So it's like I feel like creators are so used to instant response, instant blow up. And if it doesn't blow up, it's just not, it's worthless. And it's like, that's not the
Mm,
case. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you have to stay true to what you created and know that I enjoyed creating this. I love this project. And maybe it was slept on right now, but it's okay. It's gonna hit its light and its shine when the time
mm.
is right. So I feel like that's something I had an issue with, and that was a little speed bump, on the journey. But after a while, I was like, you know what? Let me focus on the content because these people that you're trying to get the attention from, like the big companies and things like that, when they come to your page, like they're not just gonna see that one viral video. They're probably gonna look at all your videos, and it's really about how all your videos look as a collective versus one
Yeah.
video that just went viral one time. So it's like focus on the content and put love into everything you do. So when they see that collective, they fall in love with your content the same way you do. So that was one of my biggest problems at first, but now we're on a whole different mindset, so we're just pushing.
Couldn't have come from a better man, King Vader. I have one more question for you. It's one that I left purposefully at the end of our conversation today. But you've built an incredibly large platform, an incredibly influential platform at that. You have a lot of people watching you, a lot of people expecting to watch you maybe do good with what you have. You know, we've discussed maybe a lot of what the positives could be, right? You're a standing example of all the positives that can come out of the digital world we're living in, you know, to take advantage of the opportunity to create content no matter what. My last question for you is, you know, when you think of the influence that you want to have and continue to have on audiences and viewers, listeners, whoever those people are, what do you really want to do with your influence given the major platform that you've created for yourself?
Um, I really I really just want to inspire people, and I want to, be an example for people who want to chase their dream because I am that kid who had a dream and is full sprinting chasing for it. And, I've gained a lot of different success by doing it. And it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
It was hard work. It was late nights. I had to lose sleep. It was early mornings. It was failing at times, but never giving up and always standing back up and continuing to run back after that goal. And if I can do it, you can too. And I kind of want to be that. I want to be that example. And I just want to inspire people. And on this path to getting where I'm going. And once I finally make it, I want to really show people like, this is possible. Through hard work and dedication, your dreams can come true. And I want to be the example for that.
King Vader, I've been excited to interview you since we booked you a couple weeks ago, and now you're here. You are our man of the hour. I appreciate you for everything that you've said. It's been so insightful with regards to what you've accomplished, what you hope others can accomplish from watching you, and then from the inside looking out. This is still the young King Vader that was producing content as a child, you know, wanting to take this to the next level, and you've leveled up every single time with your new projects. Congratulations again on everything you've accomplished, especially with the Netflix deal. I can only expect more to come, but quickly before we go, I wanted to hint at your latest Halloween project too. You did your YouTube series. This was number 4, right? And
Mhm.
this was a Halloween project that you did, but how well did that perform? And I know people loved it, but what did it really mean for you, especially when we do Halloween in quarantine, right? Your guys' project looked phenomenal.
Thank you. So don't disrespect Halloween 4 currently is my favorite video I've ever created. And I'm very proud of this project because it's my first psychological thriller horror. It's
Mm-hmm.
my first time
It was
stepping in.
scary.
Thank you. Thank you. It was my first time ever stepping in this genre as much as I did because it's like in the future, I always saw myself as like a sci-fi action
Mm,
director, acting, that's the side I thought I was going to be in. And, but I'm a fan of horror movies. Like I love horror. But like I was like, okay, when it comes, because I did part 3 last year and I've been doing
sure.
this consistently for 4 years now, technically. And like I was like, okay, for this one, I want to really showcase what is possible and the direction I could be moving towards if I do join in the horror genre.
Mm-hmm.
Which now I feel really excited to add to the roster. Like, yeah, I definitely want to do some horror in the future. So with this project being, I believe, 45 minutes, um, all the locations we used, the great actors that we got to use, the great Easter eggs I got to throw in. I'm honestly proud, and it went it was on trending, I believe, on the for the first 2-3 days,
Mm.
and now it's almost at 3 million views.
Yeah, it is,
And
which is huge.
for this to be a 45-minute project and that type of view is just it's insane to me, and I'm incredibly thankful, and I'm just excited to show people what I got next because like I always say, this is just the beginning and we're just getting started. So I'm already on my I'm already on the mindset like, okay, how can I outdo that one? You know, like what's next? So
Yeah.
I'm super excited, but right now that's my favorite project, and I just want to thank everybody a part of that project and every person who supports and watch it. And like even in the comments, they're like writing fan theories about what they think is gonna happen next. And you know, I will say, you know, because a lot of people they're like, you know, this was a film, and you really like outdid yourself, and you know, I'm just
Yeah.
like, thank
You
you.
got something
And
coming on, man.
what I'm gonna do for my supporters for next year is I think I kind of hinted confirming it, but I will confirm it here as well.
There we go. Maserati coming down
Uh,
the street.
but Don't Disrespect Halloween 5 won't be called Don't Disrespect Halloween Part 5. It will be called Don't Disrespect Halloween the movie officially. So this one's going to be an entirely different look and feel, and we're going to go even further. So I can't wait for people to see what we got coming next year.
From digital series to movie, King Vader, I'm proud to just know you. Thank you for spending some time with us, and thank you for allowing us to call you the man of the hour. We really appreciate you, all of your insight, everything you've said. Thank you. And happy holidays to you and your loved ones too.
Hey, happy holidays to you. Thank you guys for having me. And yeah, this is awesome.
Justin Crawford here, and I'll be back next week with another great guest on the Men of the Hour podcast. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe, rate, and review right here and anywhere else you'd like to listen. Also, check out our Instagram and YouTube channels when you get a chance and see the full video interviews with our guests at Men of the Hour podcast. Thanks for listening. Now get out there and make a positive change for yourself and those around you.